Hello and welcome to the Legacy Crusaders YouTube channel. This is Benji, and today I'm joined by Evilise. Say what up.
Yo, what's up?
All right, if you're not familiar with Evilise, you can find her on Twitch.
Twitch TVs, EVA_LEES. And you can also find me as the same thing over on Twitter. I've been playing competitive Yu-Gi-Oh for a couple of years now. And yeah, I love learning new decks and such. I'm particularly fond of trap cards. And that's quite a bit of what we'll be talking about for today.
Yeah, so if anyone's new to the series, I bring someone on who knows how to play a deck. They tell me what to do over a few games on Yugioh Pro. Evilise will have no control over the cards whatsoever. She's going to tell me what to do, and I'm just going to make the actions as requested, and I will try and ask the questions that you, the audience, might have. We're going to play on the Wild West of Yu-Gi-Oh!, the competitive ladder, which could be literally anything. It could be some future cards, it could be old stuff, it could be literally anything, and we'll just try and make sensible gameplay decisions while playing so you get to understand the choices being made rather than just the basic combo of activate trap card, which most decks can do, set 5. All right, so it's all about timing and, what the opponent's cards do. So we'll just do a quick card by card, discuss anything that might seem odd, because I'm sure I've seen a couple of really different types of Labrynth builds. Sometimes they play a lot of furniture, sometimes they play very little furniture. So we'll discuss your choices and why you like it the way you have it here. So quick rundown, we have 3 Ariana, 1 Chandrigleer, 1 Ku-Klok, 3 Lady, 2 Lord of the Heavenly Prison, 1 Lovely Labyrinth of the Silver Castle, 1 copy of Labrynth, the field spell, 3 Pot of Duality, 3 Pot of Prosperity, 3 Big Welcome Labyrinth, 3 Compulsory Evacuation Device, 2 copies of Destructive Daruma Dharmic Cannon, 1 Dimensional Barrier, 2 copies of Dogmatica Punishment, 1 Eradicator Epidemic Virus, 3 Evenly Matched, 2 Terrors of the Overroot, 1 Trap Trick, 1 Waybridge. This hit me the other day. That was really problematic. 3 Welcome Labyrinth. In the extra, we're on 3 Elder Entity Entess, 2 copies of Garura Wings of Resonant Life, 1 copy of this new card I'm not too familiar with. It's Myriologic Aggregator, 1 Nightmare Cerberus, 1 Nightmare Phoenix, 2 copies of Lingaribo, 2 copies of Muckraker of the Underworld, 2 copies of Tri-Brigade Bucephalus. All right, 2 copies of Tri-Brigade Bucephalus II, 1 copy of Underworld Goddess of the Closed World. And the side we're on 2 Gamma Seal, 2 Lava Golem, 2 Winged Dragon of Rossfear Mode, lots of 2-ofs, 1 Called By, 1 Harvey's Feather Duster, 1 Deck Devastation Virus, another Eradicator, 2 Ojamatrio, that's an interesting choice, and 3 Solemn Judgment. Anything that you think people might find interesting about your list compared to what the usual is? I think the usual is still not 100% clear, so maybe what you might think is unusual, what I might think is unusual might be very different things.
Yeah. So with Labrynth right now, it's definitely not a deck that's solved. Like when we had Ishizu tier format, the deck building decisions were like, oh, do you play 3 Rhino Heart or 2 Rhino Heart?
Yeah, it was like 35 solid cards, 5 like mix and match.
Right. Yeah, you play a couple talents or you play Super Poly, etc. But yeah, Labrynth is a deck that I would say is still not fully solid as to what the most optimal build is for it. So this build essentially tries to capture a little bit of kind of the 2 sides of it, which are the more heavy furniture builds and the builds more towards like floodgates and stuff. So as you might notice, I don't play any continuous floodgates in the deck. It's something that I still go back and forth on. Cards like Skill Drain and Goes in Match and Rivalry of Warlords are normally rather popular in the deck, but it really depends on what exactly you're looking for. So this deck is basically I basically built this to be the fastest iteration of the deck possible. What deck is going to turbo out exactly the trap that you need in the shortest order? So this is why we play the 3 Ariana, the 2 Lord, the 3 Lady, and the 6 pot cards. So basically just having it be as consistent as can be. In terms of the trap choices, basically the 1-of traps are usually ones that you want to search off of Lady Labrynth. So cards like Eradicator, D-Barrier, and then the other ones are either the engine traps or traps that you generally are going to want to see for a wider variety of matchups. Compulse is good into basically everything and is super easy to activate. Dogmatica Punishment is an extremely versatile card, and Terrors of the Overroot is something that's great against decks like Kashtira and Branded. In terms of the extra deck, the one card, the Myriologic Aggregator. So this is a card that you can send off Dogmatica Punishment, and when it's sent to the graveyard, it can target a card on the field and negate its effects. So you can pop a unicorn and then negate a birth or something.
Oh, it can negate any face-up card.
Yep. Yeah, it can negate your own as well. So in theory, if you're playing floodgates, you can turn off your own floodgates for a turn, which is very funny. And then the 2 Lingaribo is because I've gotten Ibleed only like once. I was at a regional and I basically didn't get an invite because I didn't fear Iblee anymore. So it's a bit of a vanity pick. You have so much space in the extra deck, it's fine to just play those.
It doesn't seem like any worse of a choice than anything else people would play. I think it's reasonable. Maybe even the side one if you didn't feel you needed the side deck space, put in the second one when you see it coming.
Yep. And then basically the extra deck is mostly Dogmatica punishment targets. The most common ones that you're going to be sending are Entis and Bucephalus, because Bucephalus basically gives you a Dogmatica punishment target that can destroy anything with 3500 or less attack, and then also sends the Garura afterwards for a draw.
And Garura's attack is really low, so I guess you can't really just send it in general.
Yeah, there are definitely times where you do send Garura itself, but most of the time you're one to take care of a bigger monster, so you just send Bucephalus.
Okay.
In terms of the side, I go back and forth on the tribute monsters, but I like 2/2/2 right now for all of them because I was playing Gamma Seal and Lava Golem before, but sure Sprite and Sprite Malfi being more of a thing, the Sphere modes have come up more. And Sphere mode is also a card that you can still use if you use Duality, which is nice. And then the deck dev is mostly for decks like Sprite. The second Eradicator is just because Eradicator is the best card in the deck. And the Ojama Trio is I suppose a very strange pick, but it helps play around evenly and Lightning Storm. And I will bring it to my grave that this is the best normal trap to use against Kashtira.
I don't disagree, completely at least. I definitely agree giving them a monster is a real pain. I'm known to play like completely random like Orcust piles, and I Gearsu give people tokens all the time, and then I protect the token with like Phantom Nightwing, and then they can't get rid of it. So I've found it's surprising how much giving them any monster, no matter how you give it to them, is really disruptive.
Yeah, absolutely. And these ones, because they can't be tributed, and Kashtira doesn't really play outs to it, except for basically to get over this, they need to have a very specific hand, or they need to have a starter plus birth, and then you usually have a removal option in addition to the trio. So as long as you activate trio and you have one piece of removal, you're usually pretty big chillin'.
All right, I really like this idea. I think it makes a lot of sense. It takes up a lot of their board space too. Unlike like my token takes 1 space, they can probably play around it a bit. But yeah, like this is just cool. I never considered that. But just speaking about kaiju, just because like I'm on a big Santa Claus kick lately. I don't know if you've seen people have been testing Santa.
Yeah.
I'm actually not sure why other people are playing it. I think they're playing it for Pearly now. But I had posted like a short recently where I was using it to attack with my break sword into a kaiju who was in defense. Was like my theory. I think that's what they're doing with Pearly. But also Santa gets over, what's that card? The Sprite card. Tetsuo Erat Newman. I think it has, you can't summon something with like more than 1900 attack.
Yeah. Yep.
But just another thought of a kaiju if people are interested in it.
I was wondering about that card because I'd mostly seen it in Math Mech lists, and I was like, it's a light, so you could use it as a small world bridge potentially to go from like Valor to Santa to Skiller or something.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't really sure why other people were playing it. I was watching some MCole40 video the other day, and he said, oh, it's going crazy. And then somebody else actually mentioned that it was being played for Pearly. I'm like, oh, okay. Maybe someone saw my short on attacking with a tinier monster and took it to heart. It's cool to think that I might have done something. I have no idea, though.
Hey.
Anyways, I think that kind of covers the deck choice and main deck options. Is there anything else that other people have been playing that isn't in here that might be worth mentioning more precisely? Why you're not as interested in them, or?
Yeah, so there was a list that went top 64 in London.
It's a weird list, right? Very weird.
Yeah, it was playing all the furniture, 2 Kuklok, 2 Ariana, 3 Lady, and it was playing Extravagance and Prosperity. And interestingly, it was only playing 2 like non-engine traps. It was playing a D-Barrier and a Dogmatica Punishment, I believe.
I think it had a Compulse. But I could be misremembering. I think it might have been a Compulse and a Punishment, or it was definitely like weird, like 1 or 2 of them.
Yeah, it was very low on like normal traps / removal traps. It was basically just relying on the strength of the Labrynth engine itself. I really like that build. I don't know how viable it is because I've played builds like that before and it just drains your hand of advantage. And I think you'd rather play Duality and Prosperity over Extrav. But yeah, just to see like the exact right cards more than more cards. There are also people who, as I mentioned, play a heavier continuous trap floodgate build, and that is absolutely viable as well. I think Labrynth, besides the monsters being big, I don't think it really gets that much from things like skill drain. It's fine, but at that point, it's a little bit of why don't you just play Eldritch? So
I actually thought it would be cool to play one Eldritch. I feel like it's possibly usable. I think you get locked out of the extra deck from non-fiends, right?
yeah, so you can absolutely still run Eldritch in this, and Eldritch isn't bad to pitch a welcome or a big welcome from your hand as a bit of removal. Yeah. So unfortunately, I've thought about using that, but it's if your opponent has a Rise Heart down, you're like, yikes.
Yeah, I guess a Rise Heart makes us make all kinds of crazy concessions. We want to
Really
try and
does,
play.
really
Yeah.
does. I don't mind the Cashier deck, but I'm not going to be crying when it's gone.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I think I can use the Diablosis ban. That way it would be less tempting to be a pick.
Yep.
But I think it's fine without that. I think the concept of a 5-zone lock, I don't think is reasonable to exist.
Yep, I completely agree.
All right, so we're going to play a few games, and then we will just discuss anything that may or may not have come up. And yeah, we'll start that now. All right, let me make a note of competitive, please, and then we'll play against a bunch of new super heavy samurai stuff that we won't be that familiar with. Are you familiar with all the new stuff that hasn't come out yet? Because I have no idea.
I'm a bit familiar with Syak, so yeah, we're playing. I just played a couple matches against Pearly last night, and I generally know this is some of the super heavy samurai stuff, so we'll see what this is. Okay, we'll see how this hand goes. Desires. Okay.
Yeah, they are on a probably just Sword Soul. Sword Soul is like the fairest deck in the game, I feel like.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Since Protoss was banned, Sword Soul has just been like this consistently good, but never, overwhelming deck. Okay, so they're starting. So it looks like they didn't draw like a Moya or something. They're having to do the Chi Shao to find engine play.
Is
Okay.
there any particular cards that are like really good for this matchup? I guess we're always concerned about Blackout.
Yeah, Blackout. So Blackout can be troublesome against this deck. Why are they going into a?
There is a line here that stops Earth and Lights into Baxia. Not Baxia, Chaofeng.
Oh,
I
that's.
wouldn't have imagined that would be the choice.
We don't care about that. I don't. Yeah, I guess we can't use Nightmare Cerberus from the extra deck.
Oh no. They
Oh
didn't have a
no.
worm in hand?
Yeah, well, this board is jank. Okay. Yeah, so I'm wondering if that's either an imperm or a blackout. So yeah, we'll just activate a duality. So yeah, part of the reason why you play Lord of the Heavenly Prison is to protect against cards like Blackout. Hey, there's Lord. So in this situation, I would say you probably just take the D barrier, just because it's against Sword Soul, and you have a piece of engine. Jolt. Comedy. Okay.
That's going to be good next format. Maybe they're getting ahead.
That's true. Yeah, so I would just set 5 pass here.
All right. I can do this. I can set.
But yeah, so Lord is good against cards like Blackout, as well as branded in red for Guardian
Oh,
Chimera.
what did I do? Whoops.
Whoop!
That's just a misclick. I think the card moved around in my hand as I was setting them.
That's
Whoopsie.
okay. With the kind of hand that they had, I think this should be fine.
But if we lose, I'll take the blame on that one, for sure. All right, so they're
Okay, so they're
ending.
just going to battle. So, let's see. I would just... Let me think. Yeah, you can just go for, like, when they attack with the Moya, just punishment it.
Because we pop Chaofeng, they get to search a tuner.
Exactly.
That's just a concern.
Yeah, so I'm like, I don't really want to just put a tiny in their hand or something. Yeah, so with the Moya, I would use punishment because we also need to see a bit more engine. So I would punishment, and you can either send an Intis to pop the back row, or
I don't
you
think
could...
we can use Intest because of Chaofeng.
Oh, book. Okay.
Okay, so that takes away the choice.
Yeah, I would just let that resolve. If they don't have anything else, like we could compulse the Chaofeng, but then
Would
they
it be
don't have
better
any.
We said a welcome, right? No, we didn't have welcome.
Yeah.
I screwed up setting welcome. Okay.
That's okay. I would honestly just hold the compost because we're not really worried about Xiaofeng right now.
If that's blackout, it might be good to bounce
Yeah.
the Xiaofeng, because then they don't have a
I,
face up.
yeah, you could either bounce the Xiaofeng or you could Tears of the Overroot. I would probably just bounce the Xiaofeng though, yeah. Just to
This
make
feels
sure.
a little silly at this point, because we
Yeah.
took the attack. I guess we didn't know they would set a card.
Yeah. Okay. So here I would go for a Prosperity.
I hear you always do that first, because you see more cards this way. 6?
Yep.
You have a 6 preference?
I usually go for taking out a Muckraker, an Underworld Goddess. The 2 Lingaribos aren't going to come up. 1 and probably the Phoenix. I don't think the Phoenix is going to come up in this game that much. Let's see, what are we seeing up top? The Clock, Eradicator, Ariana. So I would do the... I'd probably do the Ariana here.
Get the engine rolling.
Yep.
Whoops. I committed to the normal summon by accident.
That is
No, we have duality, so we probably should have looked at more cards first. Although this gives us the option, I guess, to summon the other one.
Yep. So with the Imperm here, that is fine. So it's fine that you didn't activate the duality here because you could have gone for like a line that special summons without it, but now we're not special summoning this turn. So duality is the right move then. So I would go with the field spell here because now when you activate the big welcome, you're going to be able to get an extra pop off of it.
Gotcha. Just confirming the defensive Moye is too big.
Yep. That's okay. Yep. So I would set and then activate Labrynth, and then we just pass turn on this. Let's see, so there's a Vishuddha in the graveyard.
And the Adhara.
So flip summon the Moya. That's fine.
End of
We're
main.
gonna go to battle. So what I would do here is when they attempt to attack in with the Moya, I would terrors targeting the Moya and the Vishuddha, because then Vishuddha won't get a bounce, just in case they didn't have effect monster on the field.
Draw a card?
Yep. This also, like, just in case they had evenly for some reason. Oh, that's a good one. Yep. You can just set the Karma Cannon.
End of main.
Yep. And then in end phase, I would use the Big Welcome. And here, let's summon a lovely Labrynth. And then we can pop the Vishuddha. Oh, yeah, return the Ariana to hand.
Just confirming before I screw that up. All right.
That's all good. And then
Pop
and then you also get a hand rip here from Lovely.
Oh.
Ooh, that's a good one.
It'd be nice to pop their last card. Could we use it? Could we remove a card by the effect of a trap card?
Yeah. So what you could do is that you could normal summon the Ariana and then use Ari's effects. I would grab the Ku Clock here because you can probably OTK here.
All right.
So let's see, they're on 8,000. Yeah, let me think about this. Okay. So I would activate the effect of the Ku Clock. Okay. And then don't need to chain anything to it. Now go to the battle phase and attack with Ariana. And then after Ariana, use the effect of Big Welcome in the graveyard to bounce the Ariana back to your hand. Because then that'll trigger Lovely to hand rip the last card.
Oh, okay.
No. Ooh, okay, yeah. So let's go for that. Yep. And then let's use what are the other 2 cards here? The Karma Cannon and the Barrier. Okay. So then I'm trying to think of how exactly this works. So activate. Okay, I see it now. Hit the Karma Cannon. Strange as this will seem, it's just a funny OTK. So activate the Karma Cannon, and then don't chain, and then use the effect of Labrynth to summon the lady from your hand. Oh, don't activate the...
Oh.
So, that's okay.
Okay.
That's fine. That just means you don't OTK for the turn. But, so basically what that line would have done is that you would have summoned the lady in attack, and then she would attack for 3,000, and then you could flip the D barrier, and then the lady could chain to it to set a Welcome Labrynth from your deck, and you could activate it that turn due to the effect of Ku Clock, and then summon any Labrynth with 500 or more attack from your deck and attack for game.
Got it. All right,
yeah.
now just since we want to hold this for normal summon, I guess we just summon Ku Clock, just because I'm kind of committed to a summon.
Yeah, I would just summon out the Ariana here.
Okay.
Yeah, because, yeah, you can still attack for 16 here.
Could we still attack for game?
Yeah. Yeah, we could do that. Yeah, because you D-barrier.
All ritual.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, so we turned misplay into a win. Nope,
Nice.
don't activate.
And ripped
Lady.
and ripped 2 evenly matches out of hand.
All right.
Okay.
Siding for Sword Soul.
So I would side out of an Ariana. I would side into the lava golems. I would side into the kaijus. And I would, let's see, take out a duality, the eradicator. And let me think. What's the last thing we should do here? Oh, and a higher trap count. Let's take out probably take out a Yeah, that's probably fine.
Well, still searchable with Trap Trick now.
Yep.
Good like this?
Yeah, that should be good. Because now you still keep your normal summons down, so you hopefully don't draw. This is interesting. Because Lava Golem against Sword Soul is just like pure comedy. Because you just get rid of the Baron and the Chisha at the same time.
Well, this player played really weird last game.
Yeah.
I think they had like full combo. Oh yeah, it was like full combo.
Yeah, that was no. Yeah, this is not pack we're playing against here.
No, just player, everybody's arch nemesis.
Ah, yes. Okay, so they're going for the Chisha line again here.
So this is where they should search the Moyi if they have a worm.
Unless they're going for the Chaofeng again, which please don't. You've already seen the deck.
Okay.
Okay.
I think they may have just forgotten to add back the worm last game because the Adhara was still in the graveyard.
Yeah.
I think they popped the monk too early with the Baxia.
Yeah.
Oh no, they needed to get the Adhara back. I think they were mixing up 2 playlines.
Desires again. Okay.
Card's still at 2, right?
Yeah, you'd think. What do you think? Should Desires go back to 3?
I don't think 2 makes any sense. They either should have put it to 1, or they should have left it at 3.
Yeah. 2
Cards at 2 don't really make sense.
Yep. It only really makes sense for malicious.
Yeah, cards like that. I feel like Zodiac Ratpier could be at 2. Like a card that you would summon another copy. That's it. That's about it.
Yeah. Okay.
Like when Ratpier went to 2, way back, there were still cool things you can do where you would search a TG. What's the name of the card? There's a TG that summons itself when you special summon something small, and it lets you get like a level 3 Beast Warrior. I forgot its name.
Oh, TG Warwolf?
Yeah, that one. So we were like playing it in like a Yangzing Zoo deck. So like a level 3 let us do some pretty cool things, but we needed to summon like the 4 from the deck. So
yeah,
Rat 2 didn't really like super abuse it. All right, so they're worm locked, so they're not getting any real protection off this.
Yep. This evenly is gonna go hard.
It is, but it could be super hard because they could screw up and use what's his name, Heijing Longwan.
Yeah.
If they banish evenly, then they have to banish their whole field. But that would be based off of their super misplay. Ah, okay.
Chenging.
That is what they are supposed to do.
Yep. Chenging's still a house. Oh man, this evenly.
Please set one more. Please set one more. Please set one more.
Yeah, if I were them, I'd probably just keep the Chenging. Let's see, what do we got? Oh, this is mean.
All right, let's go be mean. They're remaining it. They can't be upset.
Yeah. If they've got the judgment, they've got it.
Would they side in judgment? I guess it's possible. It's not like the craziest thing to go first.
Yeah.
But anti-spell would make more sense.
Oh boy.
What are they gonna keep?
Just the Chenging. Yeah, now let's just...
Should we bother? We could just like compulse it next turn, but...
Yeah, but I'm trying to think, what else do they have in the graveyard?
They just added back Ashina. They have Vishuddha.
And they still have the Moyi in hand?
Yeah, I think they have. So they have Moyi, Ashina.
So they have combo next turn. Because we're not really going to be banishing anything, so... Yeah, I think the compulse would probably be fine. Or you could Terrors as well.
Terrors I think we do on the token.
Yep.
That way they don't have a vanilla on the board.
That sounds good.
So that's one of the coolest things about Terrors, I think. Like, you send cards that can't go to the graveyard, and then you get some free value.
So they drew Shatana for turn. Okay.
So now we compulse. Or, I guess we could just overroot, send this to grave, and then see what they do.
Yeah, I'd probably... If we did that, yeah, that would take them off their options. So...
They might go for a Zathana. Not Zathana. Shaman?
That's true. Yeah.
I'm not sure it would make sense, but...
Yeah, I'd probably... Yeah, Terrors here on the token.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I guess we'll just touch Vishuddha just to make sure. But it looks like we don't know what we're doing.
Yep.
Just don't want them to be able to actively banish the card from the graveyard. Ash can't banish.
Right.
Zathana in hand can't banish unless they go for Shaman.
Yep. And in the main phase, yeah, so I would just compulse the.
Should we maybe big welcome first? Summon the.
So I would hold the big welcome for the end phase, just so then in main phase 2 they won't be able to use the Asha or the Shatana in hand, and then we can just like hand rip them.
I was thinking big welcome for Lady. That way we can bounce the Chenging and then chain Lady to set something.
Yeah, that works too.
Okay. Just to clarify, your idea was summon Lady in the end phase and then
Summon Lovely in the end phase. So
Oh,
bounce
Lovely.
the Chenging and then summon Lovely in the end phase, and then hand rip the Ashuna or the Shatana. But
we
I
can do
think
that now,
also
right? No, we
I
can't.
think also setting Lady or getting Lady is a good move as well.
We gotta summon Lady,
And
and
we can
then
pop
it
and
comes
then
back to hand.
Yep. And then
Then
that's
we
going to
put
pop the Moya.
then we bring it back. Oh. Then we bounce.
Yep.
Actually, I wasn't actually planning on popping the
Moya.
at all.
Yeah. That's why I was thinking about waiting till end phase, but it should be fine. Generally, but we'll see.
Oh, is the pop not optional?
The pop is optional.
Also after that. Oh, you can add this a bit.
Yeah.
Alright. What should we set?
I would just set a welcome to get in rotation. Yeah, we still should be fine from this position. But yeah.
Yeah, it's just a little worse. That's on me. I gotta get used to pressing these buttons on this game.
It's all good.
What can they... Because they can do some bouncing now. Like, they have some options now.
Yeah, and then they can go for... They can't really... Do they have an Anhara in the graveyard?
They used it to add back the Ashina, so no.
Oh.
But the Ashina is in hand. They can summon now, make Monk. They can't do anything too crazy, and if they do, we can just Taiju it. But the question's, we'll have to set the trap card. I guess we have the trap engrave. Do we need to...
Yeah,
the
and we'll be able to use that to bounce.
Okay, let's scoop.
Okay, yeah.
Alright, let's see if we can get one more game.
How does the deck feel?
Feels alright. I think I'm just, like, questioning my thoughts on certain things a little bit. But that's just from not using it. My roommate has the deck. My old roommate, but we haven't gotten to, like, borrow it yet.
I've been playing this deck since... Alright, what's his hand? Okay, so this is just a set 4. This is just a set 4 and pass. If the opponent has something like Evenly or Lightning Storm, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. If we get to it. Let's see. Because we have the Way Bridge here... Oh, it's tier. Okay. So because we have the Way Bridge, we're probably going to want to hold the Way Bridge. Or we're going to want to hold the Welcome and Big Welcome. Just let them put some monsters on the board. Having the Terrors here is nice because we can get rid of the Paralorhino and the... Ooh, okay. Poly. Okay. What is the Poly for? So they probably drew the one of that they'd have with King of the Swamp. Fusion Grapha off the top. Okay. That is a decision.
Now they can negate whatever card we use first.
Yes.
Sort of game. It's not exactly a negate.
Yeah. And now they get a real Kalos out of it too. That's...
I guess we activate it, right?
Yep. Gonna have to. And either of them can negate this, unfortunately. Darul Kalos is...
Has to send itself.
I would honestly think about forcing out the graphic here as well, because either they send itself or they have to send 2 cards from their hand then.
Which card would force it? The Terrors? Is it Poly?
I would attempt to use the Lady to activate the Lady to special. Let's just see if that fetches it. Yep, because now at least you get to keep the Lady in hand for... Yeah, and now they've lost those 2 negates, so at least we have the Terrors and the Way Bridge. Let's see. Squamata and Sulik. Okay. So I would, hold this stuff, and they've already used the Paralorhino pop here. So if they try to go for like a window or something, we can just do the Way Bridge. So I would hold off on this Way Bridge for a bit and just let it go in.
Yeah, they have committed a bit heavily.
Yep. Tier limits Kashtira. Okay. Those mills, Trivia Karma. So they can get the Scream here. Okay.
That's full commitment.
Yep. Alright, and what is going to be the last thing?
Will they hit one of their few tier names?
Rhino. They hit Rhino, which could send Scream.
Oh no, it has to send from hand.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Waybridge time?
So I would just wait. I would just wait until battle. I don't think there's really anything else, but yeah, in battle we just Waybridge here. This card sometimes just comes up so nicely. So they're getting rid of those three, and the Sharon doesn't trigger, which is lovely. Yeah, we can just take that. That's fine. So here, I would just let me think here. So in end phase, actually, you know what? Let's think. So the Rokalos would be able to send the Scream, I believe.
Next
Is that?
turn. It's been used this turn.
But I'm thinking about because if we use Big Welcome next turn, we could trigger the Welcome in the graveyard to reset itself.
Is it you can only use one effective welcome per turn?
Yeah. Yeah, it's except the turn it was sent.
Oh.
We'd already have the I would just allow it. Yeah, I would just wait on it. And use the Big Welcome next turn because we're just gonna add back like probably an Ariana to like normal summon it. So yeah, here I would go for the Big Welcome.
It can negate us though.
Right. But then when they negate it, you can still get out the Lady Labrynth. You
Oh.
can still chain to that and then get out the Lady Labrynth. And then when it tries to summon itself back, you can send the Perla Rhino and like just
It actually can't summon itself back because it's already been summoned back. Wait, no, did it send? No, they sent something else. You're right.
So yeah, you can just set the Kikalos. Yeah. And then we'll still be able to get the bounce in the graveyard as well.
So
So, yeah.
activate Lady.
Yep. We might just also just hold off on the yeah, so they can activate the Scream. Let's see, so they add the Stoic. I'm thinking here we could also just wait and then use the Big Welcome Labyrinth to bounce the Rokalos back into the extra deck. And then that would also reset reset the Welcome from the graveyard. So we can just wait on this for next turn, I think.
Okay. Welcome will work off of Big Welcome's effect.
What's that?
Welcome's effect to bounce will trigger. Big Welcome's effect to bounce will trigger the effect of Welcome to set itself.
Yes.
Just confirming normal trap effect. Okay. There's a lot of tricky details with trap activations versus trap effects.
So you can just Big Welcome, bounce that, yoink, and the Pearly Rhino.
We want to use this. Do we want to set their Pearly Rhino and give them something less useful? Is there anything less useful?
Yeah, I forgot that still triggers the Pearly Rhino. So yeah, I would just so you can get another activation of Lady here. I would just send the Pearly Rhino and set. I don't know the. It doesn't really matter.
Well, just something that doesn't do anything when we pop it.
Yeah.
I guess the Diviner probably doesn't do anything.
Yeah, Diviner's probably fine.
And we set anything we want.
I would probably just set another big, just to keep the steady flow in rotation.
Well, we're really making this pot of duality dead, unfortunately.
That's
oh,
they had another Diviner in the hand. Interesting. Sending a Cal back. Okay. What names can they mail?
I don't think it Havness.
Hit a Havness. That sucks a little bit, but it's fine.
And Rhino's gonna send the Sulic.
Rip.
Of all the things they can have, I wouldn't have put them on a Diviner. I would have assumed it was a one of or something.
Yeah.
There's no reason why it should be one, I just assumed it was. And they have Keldo and Mudora, so they have all the Millers.
Okay, so they're gonna have Kaleido. So luckily at least Kaleido can't target Lady here, which is somewhat nice, but they can also go into a Baron. Yikes. Sometimes it's last card Diviner, send Kel back, which also mills a Yugioh. What you gonna do?
Well, they were only at 19 cards left in deck.
Yeah.
This deck is still crazy when it actually does something.
Yep. Great. Yeah, so the dualities, when the dualities that you have are dead, you can go into Chandelier to be able to pitch them, just as discard fodder. Okay. So what are they going back into? Yeah, back into Rokalos. Oh, jeez Christ. Okay.
So I feel like what are they doing? Yeah, Baron.
Yep,
okay, Baron's
Baron.
gonna pop Welcome.
Yep.
So what do we get? We got a duality for evenly and then crash into Baron?
Essentially. Now they're gonna shuffle back our Big Welcome, probably.
No, they just want their cards back. Fusion Grapha, Pellerino, and I lost the last one. I think it was Kilbeck. An odd one to put back.
Okay, let's see. Do we have a Big Welcome in the grave? There's a second duality. Okay.
We do, because they didn't bounce it. Oh no, wait, we don't have one. It was on the field, and then they shuffled it back just now.
Yeah. Okay.
I think we can. I guess we activate duality and see what happens.
Yeah.
If they negate it, we can activate it again.
Yeah, oh, sure.
Come on, negate it. Alright, they didn't negate it.
Compulse. So the Baron can negate. I guess this probably is not really a winning game.
Yeah, I don't think it matters.
No,
But what gives us an opportunity to win? I feel like it has to be Ariana, right?
Yeah.
The other ones are like admitting defeat in advance.
Yeah, basically. So
We can crash.
yeah, I guess we just crashed. We just crashed into the Baron. Man, that's sad.
I'm just going to concede because they can just flip summon the Herald and then
Yep.
synchro again
Yep.
after shuffling back off of Keldo.
Yeah.
All right.
Sometimes you just don't know the hand. So here, so let's put in. We'll just go for the judgments, the called by the grave. Take out the evenlies. Put in an eradicator. Take out a Waybridge.
Yeah, that seems a little dangerous. I think they managed to have nothing that would trigger last time.
Oh, the Waybridge doesn't trigger them.
Oh, they send them. Never mind.
Yep.
Maybe we should keep that in.
Yeah, very nice. And then I guess for the last spot to take out, I guess like a Karm punishment is ass against this deck. So
Should we take them both out and maybe put the Waybridge back?
I suppose the Waybridge would be yeah. Yeah, that's probably good. Alright. Alright, what's this hand? Okay, this is a very weird one. Okay. So I would go Chandragleer, pitch the big welcome, and then set a welcome from deck. And then you can activate the lady here. So this setup will at least allow us to do the coup clock play from wherever. We don't need to activate the big here. Unfortunately, we drew 2 of them, which it just sometimes sucks like that. But yeah, I would just set the big welcome and set the cold buy, and then just proceed to end phase here. We could still, depending on what they have, if they try to go for Erad or something, let's see, Scream off the top. Scream is fine.
I feel like Scream's a card you can never commit to stopping, although it may just go insane.
Yep. Let's see, what is it going to be? Normal Summon Diviner. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Well, that's actually probably the best for us because we can definitely just call by whatever they put there.
Yep.
Call by or wait?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd go for a called by here just because we don't want them to mill into a Mudora or something. Make us miss a called by.
There aren't too many ways for them to get going. Oh, I guess
Yep.
I can search Shiren.
Yeah, this is fine here. Searching the Shiren. Okay, Shiren. That is so two kind of things we could do here. You could go for the welcome labyrinth and go for a coup clock play to grab like D barrier or Waybridge, and then use the big welcome later in your turn. Or you could hold off on it and just big welcome whatever they might summon off of like a Tear in the Grave.
I was thinking potentially we can big welcome Ariana out of the deck. Not Ariana, Lovely, and then return the lady to pop the Diviner so they can't just make Baron.
If we use big welcome, then we can't use the big welcome that's already in the grave for its bounce effect. So I would just hold off and wait to see what they mill, because then they're also going to get the mill off of the Scream. See, so it's going to be King of the Swamp, Beast, and Scream.
I guess we got to see what they hit here.
Yeah.
Because now most nervous thing is the Diviner and Shiren into it.
So they did mill. So they milled a name.
And a Yugioh, and
Jesus. Okay. To make sure they don't go for their... So to make sure we get the summon up before they Rokalo, I would activate the welcome on the left. And then...
So they should really use their Mudora to interrupt this, right?
Yeah, but then it would be... They wouldn't really be doing much there, so... Yeah, so now Lady can activate. Jesus Christ.
These cards are all at 1 now, right?
Yeah, you'd think. So I would just... So I wouldn't chain to it. I would just let the Heaviness resolve. And yeah, I would probably actually just get Waybridge off of this then. Or you could Karma Cannon and just flip everything face down. But I think Waybridge would probably be the stronger option here. Oh shit, they're going to be able to use the Perla Rhino.
Will we not be able to use it before then?
No, because we have to get the coup clock. Add to hand and stuff. That's
so
awkward.
Summon coup clock. They might not go for...
They'll probably use the Perla Rhino because they probably see what's up. Shit, I forget.
Okay, so the play was coup clock to summon, then use big welcome to summon something, add back to hand, then trigger.
So the play was going to be on a summon, then add the coup clock to hand, then activate the coup clock so that you can Waybridge, And then just keep the big welcome in the graveyard for a last piece of disruption for a bounce, which would also put the Chandragleer back in your hand.
Maybe we
But
should just try and do the play and just see if it happens, because there's always a chance
yeah,
they screw up.
yeah,
But
that was a misplay on my part. I was
there's
too
a lot
many.
of chains going on. It's hard to read that far in advance. Like, when would we have done it in response to the Shiren at the beginning? That's a really...
Yeah, because I didn't want to show like the entirety of the play just yet, but
Gotcha. So this would add Coup Clock, then we could pitch it so we can activate a trap the turn it's set, because we control a
Yep.
fiend.
Yep.
A
And then
Waybridge would send everybody away.
Yep, because they put a fourth monster on the field. Oh, they could just go into Fusion Grapha as well. Yeah,
I think we lose this one.
yeah, there's not really much coming back from this. However,
Yeah.
did they target the Waybridge?
Yeah.
Rip. Yeah, there's not really much coming back from this one, unfortunately.
Right. We'll just let them negate this and then we can concede. No, they didn't negate it, but I guess they don't really have to. Is there anything that makes sense to add to hand now?
Just, it doesn't matter too much here. I would just add a welcome, because you'll at least be able to still get the bounce effect of big welcome, because Fusion Grapha
changes the effect of a normal spell, trap, or monster into discard an opponent's card.
Because it's not an activation. Oh, they went into Baron. Well, yeah, we just lose.
Got it.
Jeez, it's sometimes here, just still.
Yeah, I keep having some bad luck with them at locals at the moment.
Yeah, it's very hit and miss, as it will be. But
every time they need to hit something, they've managed to. Have not been lucky, and they're still getting lucky. All right.
This is an odd one. Okay, let's go for a prosperity here. Yes, Muckraker, the 2 Lingerebos, Underworld, Goddess, 1 and 2, and then probably Nightmare Cerberus is fine. Let's see, what are we going to get off the top here? Love to see an Oriano. So you could do a really weird play with the Coup Clock here, if you wanted to see something fun.
How would it work?
So if you add the Coup Clock.
Okay.
So you can add the Coup Clock and activate it, and activate the Coup Clock, let it resolve, then use the effect of the Chandragleer, pitching itself and the Evenly, to set a big welcome from your deck. And then use the effect of the Coup Clock in the graveyard, and special summon it.
Oh, let's add to hand.
So you're going to want to special summon this here. Using Labrynth will ease the process. What does that even mean, dude?
I don't know.
So then big welcome, and you're going to summon out Lovely, and you can put the Coup Clock back in your hand, and now you get a hand rip from Lovely, and then your Chandragleer in the graveyard triggers, and it adds itself back to your hand.
That's a pretty cool sequence.
It's one of my favorites. Oh, it's an Aluber. Okay, well, that took away a starter for them. So what you can do here is that you can hold the big welcome in the graveyard if you want, and just set because then that'll still give us that bounce in the grave. So I would just set the terrors and just pass on this. It seems weird, but there is a method to the.
No, I see. We're gonna try and use both of these and get the activation of whatever we need.
Yep.
Although maybe we could have tried to go for big.
Oh, okay. They're playing the Predaplants.
Is there a way for us to debarrier them now?
Orphoscopia, pitch Orphoscopia. There is, yeah. So I would, let's see, because they might add a super poly, which would be pretty bad. So I would just hit the Coup Clock here, just preemptively, just to get that rolling.
I already had a super poly.
Shit. Okay, pitching the Alabaz. All right, there we had a super poly. Okay.
Interesting.
Starving Venom. Okay, so they get to resolve that. They still get a...
So this will get branded fusion. Now we don't control a fiend. Will we be able to special the Coup Clock if we activate this?
Yeah, so you can use the Chandra, and then you can set... send that. And then you can set a welcome, grabbing the branded fusion. So let me think about this. You can put the... Let me think. So you'd have to do Coup Clock, add back to... I think Coup Clock add... So I think it would be Coup Clock, add back to hand, welcome Labrynth, summon from deck, and then you terrors the...
But we can't currently use the welcome because we don't have a fiend on the field, right?
Oh yeah, sorry, special summon it.
Just clarifying.
Yep.
Alright. Because that was like the tricky part of this card.
Yep. And now you can welcome for Lady.
Ladies, where's Lady? Oh, Lady.
Yep.
I'm thinking lovely.
Yep. And then, oh wait, we can't do the deep barrier play because we set the
We set the
welcome
welcome.
this turn, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. We can still get through this play here.
Should we do
So
anything now, or should we wait for them to use the fusion?
I would just wait for them to use the fusion. Yep. I was mixing that up a bit.
That's a lot of activating cards out of the deck, which is weird.
It's different when you don't have the
Physical control
mechanical.
also.
Yeah, when you don't like the mechanics of it, you're like.
I've tried to do it the other way, and then people talk through the play, like they go well beyond what we need to do.
Yeah, this is definitely the way to do it.
Dragoon is the plan from the looks of it.
What did they send?
They sent Goddess with the Third Eye, which is a fusion substitute material, along with Albaz.
Ooh, okay. That's tough. Yeah, because they can just make Dragoon here, and they're just gonna banish. I would just chain the big so you can at least get something out of it, because they're just gonna go straight into Dragoons and think they'll body you.
What should be out? The Albion?
Probably the Albion would be fine.
Should we use terrors while we can still chain this to set up a trap?
Yeah, I would just terrors for the Starving Venom probably, and set
the fusion material. I guess we can send the set Goddess.
Yeah, sure. It's gonna get banished anyway, so.
What should we set?
I would probably set the Karma Cannon, because then you'll be able to swing over the Dragoon with it next turn. If it doesn't get negated, but yeah. Just chase out the negate and then attack over the Dragoon.
Assuming they do Dragoon. There's always a chance they don't.
There's always a chance that they make Fusion Grapha.
Yeah, Fusion Grapha would have also been an option.
Luber comes out. Yeah, who cares?
Yeah, it doesn't really change anything. People have been playing Dark Magician specifically just so they can get a pop off of their Dragoon.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't mind Dark Magician in the deck, because then you can use Fusion Deployment to get it out and just like hard make Dragoon. Not hard make, but yeah, so we'll pass on this. Let's see. Did we chain the Chandelier off of the...
We didn't get to add it back to hand.
Why is that?
Did I miss it, or?
Missed it, because the Terror sent the Starving Venom, so it should have triggered.
Yeah, I don't know. Not sure.
I would...
We have to crash, right?
Let me think.
Crash Duality and see what we get.
I would try the Duality first and just see if...
Because then it's too big. Then we have to set it. I guess it's effectively the same thing.
Yeah, because then we can... Yeah.
This also gets the card out of their hand.
Yeah. Because we want to be able to activate Lady during this turn. So if they negate this, man, you're really taking too much. Are you familiar with this deck? Great. Yeah, so now we can... So I would actually just go to battle first and walk over one of the monsters.
Why we don't want to walk over this?
Because that's 4K here. So
if it's face down.
Yeah. Would we be able to flip the...
We can flip ours, right?
Yeah.
Alright, we have to do this now.
Yep.
Alright.
Do this.
What should we set? D-barrier?
Removal, but yeah, probably just D-barrier. Should be able to... Yep. We flip summon and just attack over goons.
Alright, their options are really limited to what they can do.
Yep.
Maybe they play a Link monster? Doubtful?
Yeah, big doubt. I haven't seen one play a Link monster in a long time.
We have Welcome in Grave.
Unfortunately, D-barrier doesn't trigger any of our stuff in the grave, but yeah.
Oh, we
I
won.
mean, if you have D-barrier, like, you're gonna survive that turn against Branded. So against Branded, evenly goes pretty hard. You're gonna want to keep in Lord of the Heavenly Prison, because the only ways to really pressure their your back row, is with Guardian Chimera or going into Dragoon. I would put in Gamma Seals, because they might do some expulsion nonsense, and usually the Lava Golems as well.
I think we need Called By in case they do Gimmick Puppet.
Yep. Taking out an Ariana, taking out the Eradicator, taking out a Lady as well, because you don't want to see like Lady and Lord right now.
Alright.
What else to take out here? You could probably take out the... Waybridge is pretty good. You could take out a Compulse. And what's the last card here? Probably the Chandelier. Yeah, that's probably fun. Okay.
They want us to go first. Intriguing.
Okay. Well, let's Prosperity then. If we have like an engine piece plus terrors plus Karma Cannon with Lord, I feel pretty decent about that. Oh yeah. Yep, Ariana. Ariana to add big,
So 3 pass?
activate Lord, and pass. The nice thing about Big Welcome is that it can also bounce Lord back to your hand, which is pretty nice.
That seems cool. I feel like a lot of the times people lose the game if they activate their Lord too early.
Yep. Fusion deployment. But yeah, that's fine. So what are they going to grab off of deployment?
So they're showing Mirror Jade because they're going to summon Albaz. They'll discard. If we book everything, they can't fuse.
Let's see, what's the discard off of Albaz? Pitching the Aluber? So they must have Branded Fusion already in hand then. Or another Aluber. We could also just Terrors the Aluber and send the Albaz. Because then we'd also get a draw of the Ariana.
Makes sense. I don't really want to put our Ariana face down.
Though they might just Super Poly here.
I mean, they could have done that in response to any card we used.
Yep.
Now this can't come out of the graveyard if it's already on the field.
Yep.
We don't need to use this yet, right?
Yeah, I would just hold it.
Now we need to use that.
Yeah, now we need to use that. So what you could do here is you could summon out Lovely to hand rip, or you could summon out Whoa. Okay. What is their last card has to be the third Aluber or Branded Fusion. Otherwise this is just wild. Okay, so they go for a Masquerade.
Now I really want to just pull the card out of the hand. Can we do it?
Yeah, actually no, because we don't control a monster right now.
So I guess we Lady add back to hand.
So we're gonna have to Lady add back to hand. We still at least get the draw, which works, but
Do we want to summon a fiend?
we're just gonna summon Lady by her own effect, so it doesn't really matter. You could here, just to put her in attack, so she's a little harder to out.
Alright, I did it correctly this time. Again, we don't need to rush this, right?
Probably not, no.
So yeah, Branded Fusion would be the card that makes sense in their hand, just based on what they've been doing.
Of course. Ooh, frustratingly, I think while
I think we actually have to use this now.
yeah, I don't think Lady's gonna be able to chain or will he? No, because it'll be the activation. So yeah, still should be able to chain. Yeah, so unfortunately, Lord won't be negated because there's no cards in hand, at least. So they do go into Dragoon.
What should we get?
Probably because we have a big welcome in rotation. Or no, that got banished. So I would probably do. This is tough. Yeah, I guess you just do a big welcome here, and then we'll set the deep barrier for next turn.
I feel like their build is weird.
A little bit, yeah. I would just play the Dark Magician over the guy.
Oh, they can't negate this, so I guess we summon it.
Yep, and they're not going to get the burn, luckily. So off of this, yeah, because they're not going to be able to over anything, you can just set the D barrier.
Well, is there any reason to? They can't negate anything. They can't really do anything. We could just set up a summon.
Yeah, you could just grab another welcome.
It's like they're very committed to just Dragoon with no negates, nothing else.
Yeah.
All they can do is run over Lady.
Yep. And then we can potentially grab the Karma Cannon back from grave. Although we can just crash to get rid of this guy too. So gotta love it. Okay, and we could.
And of course we have Golem. So
yeah, we could potentially Lava Golem. Although, what are the monsters on the field? We don't want to do that to the Albion. If we get rid of the Masquerade, we're not really summoning from extra, so it's not really coming back. Could just you could just Golem.
The Dragoon and the...
Yep, and the Masquerade. Because then next turn we can just bounce the Albion to make sure they don't put in the graveyard.
Does it need to be face up?
What's that?
Can we bounce face ups? Oh, any card.
It's any card as long as we have a level 8 or higher fiend.
Okay. And what do we do here?
So we can do Welcome for Lady.
And just be mindful that we don't have a normal summon.
Yep. So we'll
for
do
Lady?
Yep, for Lady here. And then we can go to the... Doesn't really matter here. Let me think.
So I've called by for this.
Oh, yeah. Forgot we had that. Yeah, so let's just go to battle phase. And then we can just attack over either of them. And then we can use the effect of the... Oh, we got that.
You can only negate.
Yeah.
Prison, doesn't really matter.
Yep, so now we can walk into that. And then we can big welcome for Lovely. Still in battle phase. And then chain her to set.
D-barrier?
Yep. And then we also get rid of the Aluber.
Add this back to hand?
Either one's cool. It depends. Yep.
Oh, we can summon it? That's cool.
Yep.
I don't think we should.
Yeah. Actually,
I missed the shot, but it would have been cool.
We have 1200 below lethal, or 1100 below lethal. Would be very funny though.
Just
Yeah.
get rid of the other one.
Yep. Sounds good. And then main phase 2, you can use the effect of King Lord, and then you can use the effect of Lovely to reset from your grave. So let's see, we have, what is it that's set right now?
We have B barrier.
So I would just set a Welcome Labyrinth here.
Okay, I was tempted to get terrors just because if they can't fusion, maybe they'll set like Brandon in red. I guess we just wait till next turn then.
Yep. And then just pass turn.
Okay, I feel like this game got to show a lot of cool stuff this match. Nice, they scooped. Alright, let's head back to the deck list to just see if there's anything that's worth mentioning.
You got it.
Alrighty, and we are back at the deck list. Is there anything that didn't come up that's worth mentioning?
So, those, like, some of the cards in the extra deck, like Cerberus and Muckraker, are forgetting over cards like people are wilding out here and trying to summon things like Jinzo and Denkoseka. So those the Cerberus doesn't have the Denkoseka, but you just like attack over it with Phoenix. And then Muckraker can also, if you have Ariana in hand, you can normal summon her, add Lady to hand, then link them both off for Muckraker bring back Lady, and then attack over.
That's important. I think people are summoning Jinzo off Mannequin Cat, right?
Yeah, so people are summoning off Branded Expulsion and Mannequin Cat, which is very frustrating. So yeah, it's an interaction that comes up every so often. Yeah, I'm glad that in the third game we got to show off a bit of the stuff with the furniture. I love the deck for when it gets into this flow state of every turn you're pitching Coup Clock and you're putting Chandra back in your hand, and you're just continually just removing things from your opponent's board to keep this sort of flow state going. And it just, nothing feels like it for me. I absolutely love that part of the deck. But yeah,
a big fan of these snowballing decks where they just keep going once they get going. Just every deck's playing back at you, so it's always tough to get into those spots.
Yeah, this is generally how I like to build the deck, for just maximizing on the potential of just having whatever normal trap you need at the time. But yeah, so I'm glad I got to show off a bit of it.
Yeah, thanks again for coming on. Everyone, once again, if you enjoy the series, like, subscribe. We'll be doing more decks in the future. Make sure you go to twitch.tv/Evilise. Check out Evilise when you're streaming. How often do you stream?
I usually stream every Thursday night around 7:30 CST.
All right, so everyone, make sure you go and check that out. And you're working on mostly Labrynth, I think, right?
Yeah, so I play Labrynth. I've played Labrynth basically since it's came out, except for 2 months where I was playing Naturia Vernisylph. But yeah, I love basically every deck, so always hit me up with any deck you want to talk about.
All right.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on. This is really fun.
I'm happy to have had you. Thanks for coming on again. All right, everyone, we will see you next time. Adios.